Hi guys, this is Sidney. So something that I was feeling like called to try is to share what I eat and share some nutrition information or my personal tips based on my own personal experiences on intuitive eating. So also Source and Gaia urged me to try it as well, because I was a little bit like, okay, like I don't want to record all of this process and all of that, but then okay, like this morning I was feeling called to like record it, so I recorded the process in the video, which I'm going to share on my Patreon and then explain further about the ingredients and some of the nutritional facts, or just share my personal experiences with my own physical detoxing or change in diet, as my frequency has been changing, and how it can impact your body so you don't freak out or you don't get into worries and doubts, or you have this mental barrier that it's hard for me to give up this, it's hard for me to give up that. How you can start small, and it's not going to be perfect, or get rid of all the things that you're doing right now. It has to be gradual, because the physical body also needs a lot of adjustment, because this body has been addicted to a lot of different things. So for example, like for about first 2 years, ever since the end of 2021, when my diet has to change drastically, even though I was trying to eat clean, my body was craving certain foods at times that reminded me of the past, and that was part of, this body has its own intelligence and programming and patterns. So I'm going to also share how you can work with that and allow yourself to move one by one, so that you don't get overwhelmed, or you get it's like get too much in your comfort zone, because you have to get out of it anyways as your frequency rises. So the physical shift is a must. So that's why Gaia and Source, they want me to start sharing these things, because a lot of souls are going to wake up from this year on. So I'm going to share those, like the recipe recording whatever, because I had to do it with one hand while I was doing that. So I'm going to put that on Patreon for those of you who are going to resonate and share certain information that I'm guided to share in the description box for those of you who want to learn further. So this is the salad, okay, that I made, and I'm going to share the dressing. Dressing is the kiwi and the tomato. And then I put a lot of different spices and herbs, and then also date syrup, and what else? Organic balsamic vinegar and all this stuff. And then I got some apple from the market today. So I went to this, like I found this little supermarket at the market, and I tried out their apple, and their apple was better than what I got at the department store. Just my personal preference. So I got them today, and I was craving it right now, so I'm going to eat them together. And also right now I'm cooking quinoa, and because I was craving like seaweed kind of wrap, but I'll see how my stomach handles it, because after this I may be too full, or I will see how it goes. I don't know if sometimes I finish all of this or I eat more, but sometimes I just eat a little bit and then I go to different sorts of food, or I stop eating. And it's just like this. There are days that I eat more, eat less, and then eat nothing, eat only liquids. So it all depends based on the energy. So for example, for the last 2 days I've been eating quite a lot compared to based on my own eating standards. And today, since yesterday, I did a juice fast for 24 hours because I was like feeling congested. And then after that, I got a huge bottle of orange juice, which I shared in the previous video. And then I drank them all throughout. And I had some chestnut that I got the roasted chestnut. I love roasted chestnut, but it's hard to find in other countries. So I know this one spot in the market, so I got them from there, and I just munched and I enjoy like strolling around just while eating. I used to do that with bread after work, but I don't eat bread anymore. So I was munching and just strolling around, looking around, having fun at the market, munching. And then I found this like little sweet potato chips, because sweet potatoes is well known here as well, like in Korea. And I was sitting at this little cafe for rest, and I got a little mineral water. And in front of me was a stand where they were selling like these, seem like potato snacks. So I got them, like it was just sweet potato, like dried or fried, I don't know what it is, but it wasn't oily. So I had a little chip of the sweet potato. So right now I'm having this. I'm not that hungry, but I feel like eating something right now, so I'm going to see how they will make me feel. So I don't really go by breakfast, lunch, dinner. It's more about my body and how it feels, and when it needs to empty out stuff. I feel like fasting, but I don't force myself to fast. So it's kind of it's been a journey. It's been a journey. I went through a lot of different phases where I was doing a lot of like once a week 24-hour water fast only, and then several months later it was like once a month 24-hour fast. Now it's more like, it depends, but usually during full moon, new moon, or energy cycles, my body tends to know when I want to fast, and it's like in line with the cosmic energies. So that's why Source Gaia and my spirit team want me to share about tuning into your own intuition for consumption of food as your fuel. So for example, when I do like fast or just juice especially, I get super energized. I'm very like, I get full of energy, and then my head is like cleared. And after you go through a certain period, you don't feel hungry or you don't crave anything, and then it's like more like a very clean fueling you. So it's kind of that sensation. So your mind is like super clear, your body is so light, but you're full of energy. But I remember having trying 3-day fast, 72-hour liquid fast. That needs a little bit of training. So you don't want to do like 74-hour fast, or there are things like what you want to eat before and what you want to eat after, because breaking fast, just like breakfast, is very important. What you put into your body or the system after you starve, you know, all your organs, it needs to be a clean source, because it absorbs that whatever that you put in really fast. So things of that nature. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to start eating this, and perhaps I will share other recipes whenever I'm feeling cold and guided. So I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye. So I came back to share the quinoa and the seaweed. I used to eat like the seaweed with rice growing up, with kimchi and with all the Korean foods, and I was craving seaweed today when I just got home. So I was able to find quinoa here at this place just outside today. I ran out all of my quinoa, the leftovers that I brought from Bangkok. So how I like to do is I cook them, and because I have this vegetable here with me as the side dish, it's seasoned well. So this one is just olive oil, extra virgin organic olive oil, and then some sea salt. And just like this, I make a wrap, and this is one of my favorite go-to. So I do this with quinoa, or I do this with amaranth. Second bite. I really was craving this. And now this. So personally, I just like to enjoy creating my own original, unique, personal recipe based on what I see people eating here, the culture. So I just wanted to share this too. So if you resonate, you can try out. Okay, and it's really nice to mix in avocado, like well-ripe avocado together, and then when you wrap it like with the seaweed with some organic sesame oil or olive oil and a little bit of, you know, salt or sea salt or Celtic salt, and it's really good. Sometimes I mix in some fresh microgreens or burdock root together, and it's really good too. I'm so happy right now. So I hope you enjoy your meal as well, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye. So this morning, as I was recording like a kind of an intro for the recipe part of the video to upload it on my Patreon, I also felt like I wanted to share this little thing to the public YouTube video that I finished recording yesterday. So this is the day after, And I just felt like yesterday, I also mentioned this in the introduction of the Patreon part of the video when I was recording it. I was thinking, what would be my intention and purpose behind sharing all these recipes and cooking or lifestyle tips that I have personally discovered or invented in a way based on my own experiences and trials and errors. And there are many things that I have learned over the years. For example, about the clothes that we wear, how harmful all these chemicals are affecting the hormonal balance. For example, like all of this workout clothes nowadays, they're all made out of polyester, both men and women, and especially women as well. It's skin tight, and especially like the bras and sports bras and everything. It's touching your skin and your important areas. And when you sweat, you're absorbing all those chemicals. So that's how they try to put people to sleep or continue to stay people in sleep. And in terms of food as well, the idea of so-called sugar-free, I just kind of made a humorous take on that. But whatever that we eat, there's sugar inside. Or that idea of it or the concept of it has been very much twisted and conditioned that people cannot think outside of that pattern. So if these people are trying so hard to people to stay unhealthy, stay asleep, I'm gonna be on the other side doing the exact opposite. Meaning if they're doing that, I can do that, right? Sharing all this information and some of the tips that I have, like some of the ideas that I started to incorporate because I'm on the road and it's hard for me to have the full mixing machine. It would make my life easier if I have that to blend and make all my nut milk so-called. I have to grind with my hands and all of this, but kind of a perspective shift as well that I have also discovered and learned, that I also kind of saw in myself how programmed I was, that it needs to be in a certain way because of all commercials and advertisements and everything that we see when we are walking by the streets. We are all being conditioned and programmed. So how can we get out of this? And once we get out of this, we can tap into our creative mind, the imaginative mind, and find new ways. Or as I'm traveling and living with all these different cultures, I am learning different eating cultures and eating way of eating and way of handling certain ingredients. And it's been quite fun for me to learn personally because I enjoy these things. And so a lot of people have resistance when they think that they have this idea that they need to give up, and that idea of giving up can create a lot of mental barrier. And it's like, oh, I'm not sure if that's gonna be, this kind of hesitancy. So it is to sort of expose people to a different environment. So for example, if you're surrounded by people who constantly eat fast foods or certain types of foods and talk about those things, you will start to get immersed into that. Or if you start to be around people who are eating in a certain way that's healthier, we're talking about those things, you will start to get affected, because environment is very crucial. So when you want to get out of certain addictions, you want to change your environment. That's the first thing. And so just like that, when you are a traveler, you have never tried or have eaten these stuff, and you come to certain Asian countries, for example, or India, and you start exploring, you start eating more vegetables, because I see all these videos on social media where, kids, they want to do these videos which are adorable, and they're like, oh, reviewing what my mom got from Taco Bell today, and they're drinking like Dr. Peppers, and every day they're eating like a lot of stuff. For example, like peanut butter, and all of that is very popular and widespread, and I grew up eating that as well, loving it. And I didn't know that peanuts are one of the nuts that can have mold very easily. And so, unless it's like fresh, when it's stored for a little while, it develops mold that's not seeable to the visible eye or even the rice. And nowadays in Korea, a lot of young generations, they don't cook the rice. There's this like prepackaged rice that you can microwave for like 2-3 minutes, that you can get in a convenience store and everywhere. And it creates a lot of mold as well. And those things, when goes into our body, it creates a lot of mucus in the body that's going to further cause other symptoms when it's accumulated over time. And all these things that I have learned, that I have done based on my own research. So if someone is doing the exact opposite to make people drugged or sick, I'm going to do the exact opposite to make people make healthier choices for themselves, and help them with their mental barriers a little bit. But it's not from a place of, this is what you gotta do, and this is the best, and this has this property, this has that property, so this is good for you, that's good for you. Because when you look at it, everything is pretty much good. Everything, when you look at it from that angle. But on the other angle, it can also be bad. So the neutrality is about just having the information and applying it to yourself by doing your own research and studies, and applying to your own unique circumstances, conditions, and situations. And some people may not resonate, some people may resonate. And it's about what you do with what you are given. So basically, someone can help you provide all this information, and someone can stay choosing to stay resistant to that, or someone can be a little bit more curious and open-minded and start exploring. So that's the difference, and there are no right or wrong. And also with these things and tips, is something that I discovered. So by creating this environment, by talking about this more often, you can start to get exposed to this, because nobody was talking about these kind of things when I was growing up, or until I was doing the research. And I grew up eating all of these things, and my family thought it was healthy. You see. And until that, I got, I had that surgery. And this is very common these days, because I grew up in that environment, and a lot of the younger kids generation, it's even worse now. So not every family is going to be like this. There are families that incorporate certain things that may be healthy. And also with ascension symptoms as well. And we have this idea that you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But when it comes to ascension symptoms, it changes everything up. It shakes everything up, meaning it could create a lot of guilt or a lot of fear within yourself, or a lot of self-criticism that I should do this, I should do that. A lot of these pressures that are going to kind of lower your vibration in a sense, or sometimes you can use that to reflect on your own fears. So perhaps I can share some, shed some light on that, as I also went through all these experiences as well. That your sleep pattern could be very disruptive. You could wake up in the middle of the night, or all of a sudden you can't sleep all night, or you're sleeping like for 13-14 hours. Like when you go through these journey or you have certain aches in your body all of a sudden for no reason, and you start to wonder. So everything is in tie to that. So the physical aspect has been emphasized, especially since the beginning of 2020. Is it 2023? Is it 2023? 2024. Okay, 2024. So by Source Gaia and my spirit team. So that's the purpose and intention behind sharing this. And that I also went through a lot of resistance and had to get out of my comfort zone. So hopefully I can help those people who may have that. But at the end of the day, it's all our own individual choice. So I'm not in a position to convince someone, persuade someone that this is better, you got to do this, or force it, or push for it, or promote it. Just sharing what I do lightly, and then talking about what I have learned, so that I'm creating this environment for people, new environment, that where we talk about it, where we have exchanged this information. And what you will do with it is up to your own sovereign choice. So I don't know if it's going to be a funny version or the serious version, but whatever it comes, I will just ride the wave and see how it goes, and share them for anyone, just this, even if it's just one person that who needed that, or who needed to make that shake, or who needed to make that drink, meaning like the juice or whatever, for the first time. They never really grew up with it. Then I'm gonna be super happy, to be very honest, and super grateful to help someone like that. Okay, so that's all that I wanted to add to that. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Wish you a beautiful day. Bye.